Hey guys, how's it going? Coderman here. In today's video, we'll actually be driving some Broncos for real. So none of that on-road test drives. We'll be driving these off-road thanks to the Bronco Off-Rodeo in New Hampshire. And this is actually day one. So this is quite possibly the first video on YouTube from an actual attendee that has a Bronco on order. So I'm not going to be filming every aspect of it simply because it is, I think, awesome to just experience it yourself. But I do want to go over kind of the day's events, some more technical aspects, and then kind of wrap up with my thoughts and really my pro tips, if you will, on getting the most out of this day. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. So it's about a 10-hour day and it's broken up into some pretty logical pieces. The first one is an introduction to off-roading, and they go over the details for novices and experts alike. Some specifics of this course or courses and kind of what you're going to experience, as well as the features in the Bronco that will be best used in those specific sections. All right, so that was the end of the technical stuff, just kind of introduction to the vehicles. And now we're in the process of picking our vehicle that we'll be having for this session. And while I do have a 2-door hardtop on order, I have to say that the 4-door, while in photos looks kind of just bulbous, in person it looks amazing. It fits well. The rear seats are perfect. So if you have a big family, which ironically I do, you probably should get the 4-door. But in my case, I just love the lines and the structure of the 2-door, so that's what I'm going to go with. After you've picked your Bronco, you head out on your first trail, and this is about a 2-hour session where FougeTube and I actually shared driving responsibilities because he was my guest, but I didn't want to keep him in the back seat, no pun intended. I wanted him to be able to experience the Bronco.
In the trees, not necessarily here at the beginning, but as we get about 3/4 of the way through, really tight. Please watch both sides of your vehicles and really watch what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Oh my
nice job.
God.
You got that on video. Oh, yep. You can't even see the ground. I might have to even get out, but you're okay. So you can see that big tree right there.
I can see the big tree. There was a rock. I had a rock.
Yep. Go straight. And then, yep.
Uh-oh.
Lockers, maybe.
All right, so that's part one of the day. We've taken the Broncos out a couple times, a little bit of trails, a little bit of back roads. You guys have already seen some of that. Now we're just heading up on a chairlift because we're at a ski resort. And this is something that they don't have in Texas. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I think New Hampshire is the place to do the off-rodeo. And yeah, maybe I'm biased because I'm here, but I just find that this area is exactly where the Broncos should be driven. So if you're in the area, definitely recommend coming up here. And if you're not, one of the people that's with us actually drove from Pennsylvania. So make a day of it, make a weekend of it, come out here and have a great time. But now we're just gonna head up here, which you can see, and go grab some lunch. After lunch, you come back down the chair ride because what goes up must come down, and you hop back in your Bronco. Or you could swap it out and get a new one, a different one. If you say have a different build and there's somebody that has it, you could actually ask for the keys and swap it up. Now you're going into about a 4-hour session that has a ton of technicals. It has some really tight turns, some really tight trails. You get to use the trail turn assist, also known as donut mode. Not what I thought I'd be doing.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest obstacles here.
This is something.
Yeah, it's a lot of rock, and video doesn't do justice, but it's steep. Oh yeah, we're laying back in our seats. We're pointed toward the sky. They told us not to stop here, just keep your momentum.
Just a little bit and stop right there.
Oh.
They said don't stop.
Oh. From here forward. don't
Okay.
stop.
Okay.
I just got to get Ramsey back at the top to spot you guys.
Okay. I think the one thing that people are going to notice with the New Hampshire is that you don't get up to speed. And while I know Ford pushes that these things are capable at speed, I think they should really lean heavier on their trail abilities because of all of the features. You don't need to be going fast. If you want to go fast, get a sports car. After the afternoon session is complete, you come back to base camp, which is the store and essentially where you register. It's referred to as base camp. And you actually are treated to a pretty awesome dinner. There was actually a live musician playing while we were there. Grabbed some dessert, maybe some last minute shopping, exchange contact information with any of your fellow Bronco owners, talk to the instructors, walk around and see all the heritage that's in the building. I purposely didn't film a lot of that because I want you guys to experience it. And I will say that the one thing I did not do, but I noticed from others' photos, is make sure you go upstairs inside of base camp, because there's a lot there that I actually ended up missing. And there's a lot of heritage and history up there as well. So here's some more footage of going through the trails and such, but I wanted to take a moment and kind of provide my insight on a firsthand experience of going to this event and some things that you probably want to keep in mind. So first off, the email says that you should bring water and you should bring snacks. I'm not exactly sure why they do that. Maybe the other locations require it. I'm not sure, I can't speak to that. However, I will say that New Hampshire had boxed water. They give you a water bottle as one of the gifts when you arrive. And they have water refill stations inside the base camp. So honestly, I don't think you need to bring water unless you're gonna drink a ton of it. But know that obviously there's no bathrooms on the trail, so you need to kind of plan your bathroom breaks strategically. Second of all, snacks. They say that the instructors have snacks, and base camp has snacks that you can load up on before you head out on each session. Fortunately for this means you don't have to bring any snacks. However, if you have dietary restrictions or you just don't like certain things, then I would still recommend bringing some snacks. Which brings me to my third point. Make sure you bring some sort of a small backpack so your stuff's not rattling around in the back of the truck while you're driving around, especially on some of the technical trails, because I learned firsthand that my second GoPro that was just sitting on the seat when we were doing like a 20-degree downhill decided to slide under the seat and I had to retrieve it. So definitely bring a backpack. And finally, I'll say, whether you're a YouTuber or Instagrammer or you just absolutely love Broncos, take photos and videos, because it's really hard to kind of take in everything that you're going to see, from sights and sounds, all of the information that the instructors give you. And really, I'd say my bonus tip would be, do not be ashamed or scared to ask questions. Even if it's something that you think is super trivial, like how do I get around that tree? Or should I slow down or speed up here? Ask these questions. These guys are here, guys and girls are here to help you learn more about the Bronco, but also be safe off-roaders and be conscientious off-roaders. So when you're out there, make sure that you're bringing any trash back with you and making it better for everybody else that's going to be there in the future. Because obviously this is more than just driving around in the woods. This is a lifestyle. This does have heritage, and we need to make sure that we protect it for future generations. So lastly, I'll say, if I haven't convinced you through introduction to this video, the footage, or the top tips, I don't know what else to say. You have to experience this for yourself. So if you don't have a Bronco on order, maybe ask a buddy that has one and they don't have a spouse or a friend that wants to go. Maybe you can be that person, because honestly, they need a spotter. And it's not saying that they need a spotter, but we found that when I was driving and FougeTube was spotting, or vice versa, we were able to navigate. Because while there is instructors there with you, there's gonna be parts where you have to be kind of proactive on what should I do here. In terms of tips, if you will, from a first-time off-roader, go slower than you think you should. Climb up over rocks slowly, because the vehicle wants to slam down on the other side. Stay away from pointy rocks. I think that's self-explanatory for tires. And lastly, make sure that you're in the right gear or the right setup before you get into a situation. So if you think you may need locking differential for a section after you've learned about that, go ahead and engage that before you're halfway up a hill and need to engage it haphazardly while you're trying to not slide back. And then lastly, I think I've said lastly a few times, but this actually will be lastly, this event should open up to the general public, but there is no official word on that. So if you don't have a Bronco on order and you don't have a friend that has a Bronco that can bring you, I would say just be on the lookout, sign up for the email lists. I learned so much about off-roading. I got to experience New Hampshire in a different way, even though I live a couple hours from it. And I got to meet a bunch of great people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you guys checking these out. I'm trying to create as much Bronco content as possible without actually owning one right now. It makes it kind of difficult, but I have some ideas for the future. And I will of course be making more Porsche content. I did not sell that, although I believe most of you guys think I did. I do in fact still own it, and I'll be creating more content on that as well. So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out these videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.